everyone, welcome to Mystic Love Tarot. Thank you so much for being here. So tell me, how are you? I hope all of you are safe, healthy, and happy wherever you are. Today we are here to see how possessive or protective your future spouse will be. What will this look like? Okay? I am not going to make this a longer intro. Please show your love if this resonates with you. You can like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. It's always a pleasure to have you here. And if you are new, welcome to the community. I hope you have a great time here. If you are already a member of this channel, thank you for all the love and support. I am available for personal readings, and there are a bunch of pick a card readings on the channel. They are timeless. All the information to book a personal service with me is given down below. You can click on the playlist link to check out more pick a card readings and watch it as and when you are guided to. Now, please remember, this is a general and timeless reading. So if something doesn't apply to your story, it doesn't feel like your story, it could be a message for another individual. Now, we have three groups here. There's going to be an image in front of you. Choose the image you are most drawn to, clear your head, visualize your spouse, and then choose your image. If you are drawn to more than one image, please go ahead and watch it. There could be a message for you in there. Okay, so I will give you a moment to choose your reading, and I will see you at your group. Hello, group 1. If you chose the first image, welcome to your reading. Today we are here to see if your future spouse is going to be the possessive or protective type, and how would that look like. So how possessive or protective will your future spouse be? Okay, so let's see what we have for you. We have Gemini, the third house, and Neptune. It says your potential to learn something and your local neighborhood. Now, the third house is associated with communication and expression, relationships with our siblings, courage, early education, short distance travel, and our ability to take the initiative. Okay? And Neptune is the water planet. It is considered as the planet of dreams, illusions, fantasy, idealism, and deep intuition. Neptune rules Pisces, and generally Neptune is considered as a generational planet, which means it shapes the collective consciousness, culture, ideals, and spiritual focus of an entire generation, an entire age group, because it takes over a century for Neptune to travel through all 12 signs. And that is fascinating to me. I'm trying to decode this to the best of my knowledge. I'm not yet an expert in astrology, so just be patient with me. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of communication, and they are known for being adaptable, witty, intellectually curious, incredibly social, and of course they are excellent communicators. So I feel your spouse could be a sun, moon, or rising Gemini, or they have dominant third house placements. Their Neptune could be in Gemini, or their Neptune could be in the third house. It says the energy is communicative, mischievous, lively, witty, and informative. Stimulating exchange is possible. And here we have your fantasies, yearnings, longings, and the potential for illusion. So there's an emphasis on communication. I feel your spouse loves to talk, share ideas, loves storytelling. They may even love to learn about mysticism, psychology, the universe. This is a deep thinker, an imaginative person. Consciously or unconsciously, they use the power of visualization to attract a lot of things in their life. Your spouse is a daydreamer and they love to gather all kinds of information. They would love to know about your day, tell you about theirs in great detail. They would know about all the characters in your story. You can bombard them with all kinds of information about anyone, your boss, your neighbors, their dog, the man you met at the train station. And they will be intrigued. So very social, vocal, expressive, and interested in gossip and chit chat. They like to process everything through feelings and intuition rather than logic. Your spouse has an amazing relationship with their siblings and their friends. They would often expect you or their siblings to think exactly like them because for them, they are going to be so involved in your or their siblings' life that if you are hating on somebody, they will join you. No questions asked. Okay? They want a total dreamlike union with you, which may create this possessive or clingy energy because they want to know everything. And it comes from an instinctive sense of emotional pain for those close to them. So your spouse is somebody who listens deeply and offers their unconditional compassion. They can sense your mood, or they can feel the mood of their siblings and friends. They have this habit of shielding people they love with empathy whenever these people are upset, even before they speak. So I feel your spouse has a very protective nature, so they like to soften harsh realities for their loved ones. They may tell gentle white lies or redirect conversations so that you don't get your feelings hurt. And this is their basic nature of protecting you from the harshness or from criticism. And they do it for everybody, everyone they love. Your spouse knows exactly what to say to comfort somebody. And I feel their communication style acts like a cozy blanket. Okay? So they're less about giving strict advice and more about validating feelings. And sometimes their protectiveness can go too far, where they risk over-sacrificing. Something like not being truthful about their thoughts and opinions to save others' feelings. All right? I feel your connection to them will be a beautiful gift because they act as an emotional buffer for those around them, absorbing their stress. So you will not have to carry everything alone. Their possessiveness is not loud or controlling. It's mostly intellectual possessiveness. Okay? They don't want to own their partner physically. Rather, they would love to, how do I say this? Have monopoly over your mind. And what I mean by that is they want to be the main source of information, fun, and new ideas for you. And you know what? They may get seriously upset if you share your deepest thoughts, funny stories, or exciting news with somebody else before telling them. Now, let me give you an example. Imagine you and your spouse have a favorite inside joke or daily habit of sharing funny news online. And now if you start sharing those same jokes or news articles with a coworker or friend, they may feel a sudden pinch of jealousy. And it's not about distrust, don't get me wrong. It's just that your friend or that coworker is taking over the special mental bond they share with you. All right? So you have to understand it that way. I think they would also have this strong urge to know everything about you, what you are doing, thinking, planning, where you are going, who you are with. And your spouse is the ultimate problem solver and a watchguard for those they care about. They use their voice to keep people safe. They would defend you, their siblings and friends, from bullies and trolls. They are great at talking their way out of sticky situations. They also treat knowledge like an armor, so they research about threats. For instance, they would warn you or the family about traffic jams or bad weather before it happens. They would keep an eye on social media or the neighborhood news to know who is coming and going. Um, if you are in danger, they do not panic. They would instantly think of 10 different escape routes or plans. So think of them as being a radio tower that constantly scans for danger. And your spouse would also be known as the sibling defender. Okay? They are deeply protective of their brothers and sisters. They may tease them, but will fight fiercely for them if anyone tries to hurt them. Okay? So, in short, I feel their protectiveness lies in their mental strength to shield others by giving the right advice or sharing quick facts and always being ready to talk or fight for you. I'm also getting this energy that they want to know what is going on inside your head all the time. So, staying connected through messages, updates, and conversations is a must for them because they want a clear, unbroken signal of what you are thinking. And when the signal gets fuzzy or broken, they try to control or investigate to find out why. And this may create a possessive dynamic because they have a habit of sharing every fleeting thought or secrets. So sometimes they have a hard time accepting you are allowed to have an inner life. You may not share everything that comes to your mind, or you may have secrets that they are not aware of. Okay? As a possessive and protective spouse, they treat you like their most prized possession, and they're deeply protective, so they would step in quickly if anyone disrespects you. They also boost your confidence, and they are the first one to cheer for your dreams and to fight your battles. They do not hide their feelings, and they would quickly let people know you belong together before somebody tries to flirt with you. They could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag, and as a page, they can easily be jealous. Honestly, they hate sharing your attention. They want to be the main source of excitement in your life. And I feel their possessiveness comes from a place of intense devotion. I'm also sensing that your marriage thrives on fun, travel, shared hobbies. They love intense, deep affection, and they view marriage as an exciting journey. We also have the star, Aquarius energy, and this talks about a devoted partner. So your spouse values a strong emotional bond, and they treat you like a best friend first. They see you as their greatest treasure, so they want to protect your heart. They want to guard your feelings with care and compassion and empathy. Star follows the Tower card, which makes sense because I feel your spouse is your peace after the storm. They shield you from daily stress, and they do not protect you by bossing you around. Instead, they give you the confidence to heal and grow. They want to be the one who brings peace, joy, and comfort to you. So they may feel envy or sadness if someone else makes you feel better before they do. The star also represents giving and sharing. So their possessiveness means they want to be your only provider of love and inspiration. They are absolutely not the type to go through your phone, but I feel you will have clear rules and boundaries to keep the relationship pure and healthy. Now, the Knight of Wands energy brings intense passion, fierce loyalty. And the Knight of Wands is considered to be a passionate and possessive partner. So they are incredibly proud of who they are with. And you will see there's this side to them where they act as an enthusiastic hero. They will rise up to defend you. If anyone threatens your happiness, they will not back down. Instead of waiting, they take swift action to make sure you are safe and taken care of. I feel they have a watchful eye, which means they can be highly attentive, demanding, and and somewhat territorial. And if somebody tries to step on their toes or they cross a line, your spouse is quick to react. I have to say, in your marriage, there's going to be excitement over routine. So, a lot of spontaneity, change of scenery, keeping the spark alive by indulging in activities like traveling, doing things together, trying new things, and experimenting with who you are and what you want your marriage to look like. Your spouse also values community. They have a thriving social life. They love to host parties, celebrate their wins with friends. So they would also love to show you off to their friends. They would also protect you from outside influence. If people are trying to harm you, they're always there to protect you. They look like a mother bear's protective nature, but it can also become smothering at times. They love to keep you entertained, sharing laughter, to keep the spark going. To your spouse, a strong marriage is a partnership based on friendship. So they have a desire to protect you from everything. And I know that is not possible, but that is what they would try to do. I feel your spouse understands the difference between true and false protection. They are not always going to shield you from everything, or they are not somebody who would not respect your boundaries, your personal space and independence, but they will give you the strength and confidence you need to face the world. They will give you all the facts and information they know, and then they are going to let you make the choice. So they are going to be like your GPS, okay, giving you information, but you are behind the wheels. So you have to decide if you want to turn right or left. So they are going to be like a guide to you, and they will always address issues with a calm and steady voice. So they are going to guide you through, and that is their way of protecting you by empowering you rather than holding you back. All right? I think that is all I'm getting. So I hope this gives you an idea about what you are dealing with. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. And if this resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment to let me know how this applies to your story, and subscribe if you are new. I would love for you to be a part of this amazing and growing community. I will see you in the next reading. Till then, I'm sending lots of love and light to you. Take care. Bye. Hello, Group 2. If you chose the second image, welcome to the reading. So today we are going to see how possessive and protective your future spouse would be. And what will this look like for you? Okay? Yeah, so let's begin with your reading. We have Libra, Saturn, and the second house. So the second house governs our material and emotional resources. It says your assets, finances, and the things that you value. Our material wealth, assets, our family environment, self-esteem, our ability to communicate, and what brings us a sense of security, our relationship with money, and what we truly value. And Saturn is the great teacher, the planet of karma, boundaries, discipline, responsibilities, how we handle challenges, and it also teaches us patience, maturity, and how to build lasting foundations through hard work. So Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius, and Libra symbolize balance, justice, and Libra is ruled by Venus, the planet of love and beauty. So Libras are known for their diplomacy, charm, and strong aesthetic sense. It says the energy is diplomatic and gracious. It seeks harmony and balance in relationships. So, Libras are naturally communicative, and they thrive on companionship. They also appreciate art, high fashion, beautiful environment, and they are known to possess an exquisite taste. So group 2, your spouse could be a Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. They could also have strong second house placements in their birth chart, or they have their Saturn in the second house, or Libra in the second house, or Saturn and Libra. So it could be one or more of these combinations. And a Libra's possessiveness is subtle, and they hate fights and drama. So if they act possessive, it's usually because they feel the relationship is out of balance or that they are being replaced. Okay? So a Libra would want constant reassurance to make sure that you prioritize them as much as they prioritize you. They might ask a lot of questions about who you are with, not to control you, but to ease their own hidden insecurities. And because they want an equal partnership, they pay close attention to schedules. If you suddenly start spending less time with them, their need for balance could turn into quiet jealousy, and they will subtly try to bring your attention back to marriage without causing a big argument. They love romance and affection, so if they are jealous, they would shower you with extra love, care, and attention to win you back rather than demanding, you change your ways. Now, Saturn in the second house is often a late bloomer, so it could be that your spouse has spent their early life in scarcity and they will be rewarded with financial stability around age 32 to 35. So I think your spouse constantly worries about losing you. And this comes from a deep fear of abandonment, of losing what they own. And they are going to monitor your time, or they would want to know exactly where you are to feel secure. Because they have spent their early life in scarcity, they are very possessive about everything they own or everything they have built. Okay? They like to keep their emotions in check as a way to protect the relationship they share with you, but in spite of everything, they are extremely loyal. They see their marriage as a long-term investment, and they work very hard to build a stable, lasting future for both of you. Now, I don't know why it feels they provide tough love. It's like your spouse controls your family money. They save for the future, and they protect you from taking big financial risks. They act like the boss of the house, regardless of the gender. It could be that they're older than you, and they're very mature, wise, because of whatever they have experienced in their early life. They are very cautious, so they think ahead to stop bad things from happening. They plan the future, and they make sure that everyone follows rules in the house. They set boundaries to keep outsiders from hurting you and the family. They have a strong sense of authority when it comes to money, all right? I'm seeing they will control financial matters, but they also have really good financial knowledge, so you could benefit from that. They would encourage you to spend your money wisely and maybe protect you from reckless spending. Okay? With Libra in the second house, I think the other thing I'm getting is your spouse is terrified of uneven dynamics. There is this need to always feel balanced. They are afraid of this relationship being out of balance. So their possessiveness is usually focused on reciprocity and equality. They want to make sure that they are your primary focus, and they crave a 50-50 emotional and material investment. They would love to shower you with gifts, but they also view you as a treasured possession, and you contribute to their sense of luxury, status, and stability. So they show their love and protection by spending on quality experiences, beautiful gifts, and comfort that would make you feel cherished and materially secure. They will constantly validate your talents, your beauty, your abilities, so they build you up and defend your dignity if they feel you are not being treated fairly, because they are known for their strong sense of justice. So if they feel you are disrespected or undervalued in the outside world, they will step in as a diplomatic advocate to defend you. They are going to shield you from stressful, chaotic situations by using charm, tact, and compromise to resolve conflict. I think they will go out of their way to provide a stable, beautiful, and fair environment to you. You know, Group 2, I feel your spouse deeply connects their own self-worth to caring for you. So for them, protecting this partnership is a way of maintaining the overall balance in their life. You may have heard a happy wife leads to a happy life, right? So that could be something they abide by. That is what they try to do, to provide for you in every way possible. Now, while their protective nature is strong, it usually stems from genuine care and love for justice rather than dominance, and that's why they will be a supportive and reliable rock for you. This is somebody who sees marriage as a true team effort, especially when it comes to money and assets. So they would want to make sure that all the financial and domestic decisions are balanced, fair, and mutually beneficial. Their protectiveness is highly cooperative and loving, and at times they would deliberately avoid confrontations, sweeping issues under the rug if it means keeping the peace. Okay? And Saturn brings an age difference. So for most of you, your spouse could be older. They are highly responsible, reliable, disciplined, and deeply respected for their character. They offer sober, mature judgment, and in times of crisis, they would protect you by acting as a steady anchor. So they see marriage as a sacred and karmic duty, and they are going to show their protectiveness through immense loyalty and being dedicated 24/7 for the success of this marriage or your relationship. They will also set firm and reasonable boundaries with the outside world to keep your partnership safe. Okay? They would not let other people influence this marriage. Let's talk about this Three of Wands first. I feel they just don't love you. They are heavily invested in your growth and your collective expansion as a team. So their idea of marriage is a lifelong journey or an empire, and they often consider themselves as the captain of the ship. You can see how this tree is firmly planted in the ground. I think they will have strong boundaries to protect their home, and their possessiveness comes from a place of we. It's not me, it's we. So I have to protect this. You will be their greatest investment and their top priority, which means that they will not tolerate anything or anyone threatening what they have built with you. I feel you can always rely on them to handle the logistics of keeping you safe. They are not a risk taker, not too adventurous. They are a cautious planner, so they often take the lover and not the fighter approach, being diplomatic, making up to you in a slightly different way than you expect. Okay? Yes, we have the Emperor. I was getting this strict, almost stoic energy. And the Emperor is somebody who shows affection by paying the bills, managing crisis, and making sure that you never have to worry about survival. So he or she is not a poet. They would not use too many words to show their love. They are big on action. Okay? Anybody who threatens you or the family will have to see a side of them that is beyond your imagination. And they take the marriage seriously, and they would want to keep you away from the chaos of the world. So their love can be seen through their actions, their body language, and unspoken devotion. I'm not going to lie to you. They have a bit of a dominating and controlling tendency because they are traditional, always doing things by the book, following rules, being super disciplined, and they are a bit rigid, which may at times feel too much, especially if you are a carefree, going with the flow, following your heart kind of person. They also believe in a collaborative partnership. So rather than being overly dramatic, their protectiveness is practical. Again, it's all coming down to setting firm boundaries, financial, emotional, or physical, to keep you and their family safe from outside interference. They are not at all toxic. They are simply too invested in you and your life, and in this union because of what you built and achieved together. They know little details about your schedule, your shopping lists, what makes you uncomfortable, what are you allergic to, actual important details about your password and bank accounts, or if you drink a special type of tea. They're always going to make sure you never run out of those. They are somebody who would remind you, today you have an important meeting, or hair appointment, or doctor's appointment. So they're very perceptive, and they're all about taking care of your needs. And I think it's super cute the way they remember everything about you, every little detail, and you never have to worry about the basics. Okay? Money, home, your comfort and luxury, material things. They also feel your achievements are their achievements, and their achievements are your achievements. So this partnership brings a sense of pride and ownership. This is somebody who always shows up for you. They're planning ahead for the future, and they never stop validating your feelings, your thoughts, your expertise. Even if things get tough, they would never hesitate to go to a marriage counselor or happily consult the experts, because they want to work hard on this relationship. Making efforts every day is really important to them. With the Knight of Pentacles, again, this is about protecting you through their daily presence. And they are a provider, a nurturer. So their major concern would be that your physical, practical, and financial needs are always met. Subtle possessiveness is a part of their nature, to fiercely guard everything they have built in their life. Whatever is theirs stays theirs. So they're going to defend it with everything they have. They also show their devotion by putting in the consistent day-to-day work in the house. A partner who is going to help you with the chores, keeping up with the house or the kids, sharing responsibilities. And I feel you will not have to worry about financial or emotional security with this person. They could be an earth sign, or maybe a Cancer. I feel your spouse would act like a human shield for you. They usually take the brunt of external stress and step in to handle conflicts. I'm also sensing you have opposing personalities, but I feel their possessiveness is the result of an aggressive need to keep their bond intact. And because they feel they have the reins in their hand, sometimes it blurs the line between partnership and control. They will try to manage your choices or make decisions on your behalf, but they will stop at nothing to defend your honor. And although your nature and personality is different, you don't try to merge into one, because by being different, you can easily align with each other. Okay? With the Emperor and the Chariot, I feel they act like the boss of the house, okay, whether this is a masculine or feminine. They are much more inclined towards the masculine energy. You will see a sense of authority, acting like a father figure, a mother figure, standing up for you, supporting your goals, walking you to your door, advising you not to do anything dangerous. This is somebody who would want you to put your health first, and they always try to provide for your needs. They will not burden you with their problems, but they will try to ease your fears. This is somebody who would be scared of losing you. Okay? Alright guys, so I think that is all the message I have for you. I hope this gives you an insight into what you can expect from your partner and where they come from and what it looks like. So thank you so much for being here. If this resonates with you, please don't forget to like, comment to let me know how this applies to your story, and subscribe if you are new. I would love for you to be a part of this amazing and growing community. I will see you in the next reading. I'm sending lots of love and light to you. Take care. Bye. Hello, group 3. If you chose the third image, welcome to your reading. Okay, so today let's see how possessive and protective will your future spouse be. We have Aries, Chiron, and the 10th house. So it says your achievements and status in the outside world. So the 10th house is associated with our professional path, public reputation, social status and legacy, and our relationship with authority figures, and how we project ourselves to the world. And the natural ruler of the 10th house is Saturn. So Saturn rules the grounded, ambitious, and workaholic energy of Capricorn and the free-spirited Aquarius. With Chiron, it says your healing power, empathy, and ability to teach and learn remedies. You know, Chiron is a mythological centaur. Now, I'm not an expert in astrology. I'm still learning, but the story of Chiron is kind of sad because he could heal anyone but himself. So Chiron orbits between Saturn and Uranus, and Saturn is restrictive, you know, the planet of karma, discipline. Group 2 had Saturn, and Uranus is unconventional. So usually Chiron in our birth chart reveals where we hold the greatest wisdom and the capacity to help others. And Aries is the first zodiac sign. They are considered as the pioneers who love starting new projects. They are impatient. There's a need for speed, which means they can become easily frustrated by detailed tasks or unnecessary delays, but they often look for an exciting and passionate partner who can handle their direct and emotionally blunt nature. They are fiercely loyal and emotionally generous to the people they love. It says the energy around you is dynamic and spontaneous. Crusading impulsive action is likely. So your spouse could be an Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or they have strong 10th house placements in their birth chart. They could have Aries in the 10th house, or they have Chiron in the 10th house, or Chiron in Aries. I'm getting this strongly that your spouse is possessive and protective, but as an Aries, they have this competitive nature, which means they hate to share what's theirs. And I can confirm that I'm an Aries moon. Yeah, okay. So they might put an arm around you or hold your hand tightly at a party to show others you are taken. Or if somebody tries to flirt with you, they may react immediately because they see you as an extension of themselves. They do this because they are instinctual, not because they lack trust. They love being the center of your world. So if you spend too much time or energy on others, they may get jealous. They want to be the sole provider of excitement and affection in your life. And makes sense because they are naturally competitive. Group 3, your spouse is going to think of you as their prize, and they act out of love, but they are extremely territorial, okay? I feel they are strong and ambitious. They're successful in their career. They could be like a boss, a manager, a leader of some sort. So they would also want to be your boss, whether this is a man or woman. There's this desire that they want to be seen as a happy and successful couple in public. But they will always defend you. They are not afraid to fight for you. They are brave and really action-oriented when it comes to supporting you or treating your reputation, your image, as a top priority. If somebody disrespects you, your spouse will step in right away to make things right. They like to take charge of the home, and they are very reliable when it comes to keeping you safe and secure. They view you as their person, and Aries is ruled by Mars. So this Mars-ruled energy brings out a strong "you are my person" protective vibes. They are protective and straightforward, and you will see it clear and loud in bold ways. Okay? I don't know why I'm getting that they always simp for you. Okay? And people would know that they're obsessed with you. All right? Your spouse may carry this feeling of not being good enough or not being recognized. And that's why they always try to look for perfection and control in their personal and public life. So sometimes they would try to be over possessive or protective because they fear losing you or being rejected by you. If they show their true emotions, their vulnerabilities, I feel they could have a strict, absent, or highly judgmental parent. So they have learned that love and approval was strictly conditional upon their achievements, and that's why they try to overcompensate their love and affection by being perfect and making sure that the marriage is successful. Especially, they would want to have a perfect public reputation about this relationship, all right? They may have been unsupported as a child, and there's this fear of failing in front of others. I also feel because they know how hard it is to feel criticized, they will become a safe space for you. They will protect you from gossip and harsh criticism from outsiders. And I'm also saying when they help you succeed, it heals their own past feeling of being unseen or undervalued. Your spouse is also highly empathetic. So if you have a bad day at work, they know exactly what to say because they are familiar with professional struggles. Chiron and Aries is primarily concerned with self-worth and identity. Your spouse may have this deep-seated fear of being abandoned or that they are inadequate. So sometimes this fear would trigger a need to keep tabs on you, to always know where you are, what you are doing, where you are going, or maybe trying to monitor who you are seeing or meeting. They may have a history of being silenced, dominated, or made to feel powerless in their early life, so they try to be in control and in power. They don't like when their authority is questioned, because that would mean they are weak and vulnerable. Okay? And now all this is going to come into play as a protective partner because they know exactly how it feels to be vulnerable and unprotected. They would become the ultimate guardian for your independence. Their instinct will be to make sure you never feel small or helpless the way they once did. Okay? If anybody tries to cross or disrespect you, they would immediately go into warrior mode, fighter mode. And you will see they often say no to you, and that would annoy you. But they use their ability to say no to shield you from toxic family members, manipulative friends, or overbearing co-workers. They would always protect your right to shine. They would not want you to dim your light for anyone. They would certainly act as your personal cheerleader, okay, aggressively pushing you to chase your dreams and to assert your own independence, to make your own decisions. Their natural instinct would be to transmute their own historical pain, their early life trauma, into their strength. But you have to remember, because their wound is tied to powerlessness, they can sometimes swing from being highly protective to slightly reactive and overbearing. They may jump to conclusions or pick fights on your behalf even when it's not needed. We have the Empress, the divine feminine energy, the great mother, goddess of love. And we have the Emperor in group 2. I don't know why I feel these two are linked somehow. Group 2 and 3. Sort of like one is going to resonate with you and the other one is going to be about your spouse. So you could be confused between 2 or 3, or so you could watch group 2 if you are guided to. And maybe you start watching one of these readings and you are going to realize this is me. And then you choose another one and that is going to be for your spouse. Something like that. But anyway, so the Empress, her protective instinct can manifest as an intense, sometimes territorial loyalty. Your spouse will physically, emotionally, and socially defend you and the family from outside threats. Whoever this is, they would view you and the home as their most sacred creation. And they belong entirely to you. So they would expect you to be entirely devoted to them. And in their desire to provide absolute safety and comfort, their love can occasionally feel smothering. They would love to be the ultimate provider of your needs, and I feel their possessiveness is not born out of insecurity. Rather, it stems from the earth element, because marriage to them is a serious long-term commitment. So they want to be treated with love, respect, and kindness. They have to show devotion. And you know what? I feel if they are wronged by you, they may not necessarily lash out aggressively, but they are going to withdraw their love, warmth, and care until the issue is resolved. Okay? So that could be their way of showing that they are, jealous or possessive, or you are not spending time with them. Yes, I feel your spouse has zero tolerance for disrespect. I feel they would never want to be away from you, and this could lead to them actively blocking natural life transitions. For example, they get a wonderful career opportunity somewhere in another state or city, but they may not want to take it, or they may not want to move to a new place. And this could even be related to their personal growth. They would not want to deal with their insecurities and fears without you by their side. So their instinct to protect you is driven by fear, causing them to unnecessarily limit your independence at times. So they are going to be extremely dependent on you, and they will be clingy. I feel your spouse also struggles to let go. And this is again bringing us back to the Chiron energy. Bringing their unresolved past trauma and baggage into your relationship. They will heal you, but they still struggle with their insecurities and fears about maybe letting go, about their self-worth. They would be a proud, highly supportive, and publicly affectionate partner, and they openly celebrate you. They would love to show the world that you are theirs, and they also expect others to respect you. They are going to be a strong support system. So they will always have your back, and they would make sure that you get the recognition you deserve. Very appreciative partner. Yeah, this marriage would be like an ongoing success story. So they are going to guard the peace and harmony you have built together. I feel their protectiveness looks like hovering, checking in constantly, sending updates, and making sure you are safe. They would treat you as their ultimate priority. They would claim you proudly and loudly. Your spouse is deeply passionate, so they know how to cut through distractions, and they will instantly shut down anyone who speaks negatively about you. And I think your spouse uses lavish gifts and grand gestures to show their love and affection. They are a resourceful problem solver. In case you are in financial, legal, or personal difficulty, they would not panic. Instead, they are going to use their networking, diplomacy, their charm, and intellectual conversation to resolve the issue. They handle crisis with optimism and confidence because I think they know how to manifest positive outcomes, and they will keep the home environment energized and secure. I also feel they protect you psychically from psychic attacks. They have the ability to do that. They protect you through prayers and mantras. They also do not tolerate games, so they will be the first one to cut off anyone who tries to manipulate you or harm you, or if somebody has negative intentions towards you, they will shield you. For you, Group 3, your spouse has the ability to provide everything you can possibly want or need. They would make you feel like your fairy tale dreams have come true. That's how resourceful they are. Yeah, so Group 3, your spouse is obsessed with you. They want to give you the world. Okay? And they would make a lot of things happen for you. Whatever you need, whatever you desire. All right? So I think that is where I would stop. I hope you get some insight about who this is, how possessive or protective they are, and where they come from, okay, what it looks like. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. And if this resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment to let me know how this applies to your story, and subscribe if you are new. I would love for you to be a part of this amazing and wonderful community. I will see you in the next reading. I'm sending lots of love and light to you. Take care. Bye.